Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal. I am Atlas Opia, and I help people expand their interdimensional knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how to go beyond time so you can truly feel the power of the present moment. If you watch until the end of this video, you'll gain some tips that can hopefully help you carry forward in a more lighthearted manner. If you enjoy this content, subscribe, share, and comment below what your experiences have been. Alright, to get right into it, time itself is a measurement of how a form of energy can translate in a particular dimension. So when we shift ourselves back to this truth that we're an interdimensional soul having a human experience, we then realize that it's not about being in your higher self or your body or trying to find an either or situation, but learning how to manage your own consciousness and go to what dimension you're being called to, depending on a given moment. When you're in your higher self, you're going beyond the matrix and you're in a realm where time is not real. There is no linear time in the higher realms of your own consciousness and the universe. Time in the higher realms of this universe is simply a measurement of different locations. But when you're in your body, there is linear time, past, present, future, because that can allow our formless soul to take form in a matrix that has a structure that can create some type of order which allows us to be here from birth into death uninterrupted as we experience this simulation entirely. But what happens when time becomes something that creates a level of friction inside of us? And why does this happen? When you're wanting to manifest something, you're basically unlocking your subconscious mind. You're entertaining the idea that you are not who you are or who your parents taught you to be or how you grew up or the trauma that you have experienced, but your soul having a human experience, and you get to decide what to do with the energy of the past so you can change the future. And with this empowering realization comes the interception of our subconscious mind, because everything in this universe has one commonality, and that is to survive. So our subconscious beliefs and patterns of how we view ourselves and the world, they just want to stay alive, because the brain is a tool that is meant to keep your soul in a consistent framework of energy. That is why we develop an identity when we're in this reincarnation, so we can have an association to our body and this matrix. The subconscious mind and the beliefs in it want to survive. So as we grow forward, we can use this idea of, if I get something, then I will be better than who I was. But the issue that can arise is if you're growing because you do not accept who you are or who you were, then you're basically creating a new trajectory of energy that is based off of guilt and shame. And you can only imagine what's going to grow when the soil itself is not rich. So don't do that. Instead, grow and manifest because you're curious about your creative powers as a soul and how you can play more in this realm. Because when you're basing the future off of, something will happen that will make me find an easier way to escape my shadow, to leave these disempowering emotions and traumas behind. Then a pressure begins to set in, where you may feel as if you have to achieve your goals. You have to grow. And that drive can be ambition. But two things can be true at one time. So it can be ambition and the fact that you have a level of hostility to the versions of yourself you've embodied throughout your life. So how do you alter this? You alter this by realizing you are exactly where you need to be in this present moment. Everything that has happened is exactly what needed to happen. And your soul is a omniscient, effervescent being that is placing all of these things in your path as a form of energetic resources. So when you're able to sit in the moment and feel into the emotion that is arising as you're thinking about an experience, if you try to move away from what does this emotion mean? How do I dissect this thought and reveal how I can improve myself? What action do I need to take in this emotion so I can feel better tomorrow or the day after? That is an excessive amount of toxic masculine energy, which is overaction. So what I'm asking you to do is to dip into the waters of the divine feminine and allow yourself to feel that no matter what you've experienced, from your soul's perception, there is no good or bad. That is your identity reacting to the stimuli that is coming into your system via your five senses and deciding how it aligns with your pre-existing beliefs. So if we can go beyond the judgment of good or bad, then we can see every experience and every emotion as a sacred example of our soul getting to experience a unique form of consciousness while in this matrix. So then it allows us to be in the moment more, because we're not trying to run from something based on if it's good or bad. We're allowing ourselves to be in whatever frequency that is going on. Now, obviously, if a certain frequency is continuing and you find yourself in a spiral, then you can implement the divine masculine. But most people on this planet right now have an abundance of masculine energy and a lack of divine feminine activation, which is we're all always psychoanalyzing ourselves. We're always trying to dissect where we're at, where we're going, what does this mean for tomorrow? And that is a form of self-abuse. Now, we're not intending to do this, but our mind can act this way based on how it has been programmed as a function, depending on when we came into this matrix. So to go beyond time is to allow yourself to view everything from your third eye, which is looking at a physical manifestation in your external world and asking yourself, what energy had to come together to make this thing happen? How does the chair I'm sitting in remain solid as I am on it? How are my eyes able to see color what happens to an energy for it to become different colors. When your curiosity can break free from the judgment of a particular experience or moment, and you can observe without attaching to that particular thing and needing to give a purpose to it based on your past or your future, then you can go beyond time, where you trust that every moment will reveal what it needs to for you to be led into the next moment. And every time you're able to sit into a point in time and not feel the need to compare the point in time to your past or your future, which are other points in time, you're able to take that point in time and use it as a doorway into different forms of consciousness in the universe, because you're still with what you're experiencing. It's like if you're trying to taste test a food and the waiter or waitress keeps bringing you different food every 10 minutes. You're not going to be able to fully embrace the essence of one food if you're consistently introducing it to different stimulations. So to go beyond time is to not feel pressured by the future or guilted by the past, and to view any experience that creates pressure or guilt as an opportunity for you to accept who you were in those present moments, and allowing yourself to fully use the moment you're in now as a doorway into the entire universe. Because you're no longer on this past, present, future, birth, death type of spectrum where you feel as if there is this mortality weighing on your shoulders and you have to consistently do the right thing at every given circumstance to increase your probability of making this life something that is worthy in your soul's eyes. So let go of the need to feel like you have to categorize every single emotion, thought, or experience, because you're categorizing it based off of the past. Because your mind is not a dynamic tool. Your mind is a program that brings in information based on the emotional reaction you have to a particular stimuli that gets activated through your 5 senses. And so you go beyond it by accepting everything you're experiencing in the present moment, and not ask yourself, well, if this is happening now, what is going to happen in the next hour? If this is happening today, what is going to happen in the next day? It's because you're judging the experience and you're worried that the shadow you're avoiding is going to carry on into the next day and it's going to keep chasing you. So once you accept the shadow and the light as a part of a system that works together, you no longer feel the need to dissect something based on your past programming, and you can experience something in its essence. Meaning, if you need to feel anger, feel anger. If you need to feel your anxiety, feel the fire around all of your skin. If you need to feel your irritation, then feel your irritation. The best thing you can do is try to limit the collateral damage you have to other areas of your life. But if you don't feel those things, they will become stored in your cellular system, and they will start to reproduce in a way based on your dismissing of their very existence. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you gained a perspective on how to go beyond time so you can fully accept who you are and what you are in the present moment. And definitely subscribe if you enjoy this type of content and you resonate with my downloads, because every video on this channel is meant to address a possible concern you have on your journey of interdimensional consciousness and expansion. And I also offer galactic quantum coaching. If you're a hypersensitive, an empath, a starseed, a mystic, if you feel as if there is a level of power that wants to be expressed in this body from your soul that you're not truly able to harness because your mind might not be able to comprehend the different layers of your own consciousness, then enroll in my galactic quantum coaching, because I address the holistic nature of an interdimensional soul in a human experience through the divine feminine and masculine. And a lot of times the divine feminine is the dominant force in today's coaching. And I feel like the important thing is to use the divine masculine to create language that your brain can understand. So then your brain begins to work with your soul, and you no longer have cognitive dissonance between your mind and your soul, and you can have them work together. So if you have a galactic mission, or you're supposed to manifest and heal in this dimension or another dimension, you can use the interdimensional skills that I'm going to teach you as a way to operate more efficiently. Well, thank you guys for being here, and remember to stay in power and acceptance, and don't allow yourself to feel overwhelmed too often, because you are in a game. The game can become intense, it can become fun, it can become dark, it can become light, but don't be too attached to this experience, because you truly are a soul that's getting to be human. You're not a human getting to be a soul. Okay, bye.